So I've been learning about reproductive freedom, sexual health, and bodily autonomy for a long time. And the more I learn about this topic, the more I love it. I'm so passionate that I'm always game to go to a sex ed workshop or hear about someone's work as a doula. And I sometimes forget that not everyone hears the word abortion at work every day. So when I first heard that my internship would be at ABCD Health Services, I was thrilled. I thought, this is right up my alley, it's exactly what I want to do, and I already know absolutely everything I could possibly need to know. So that's not true at all, but I was excited. So during my first week as an intern, I went to a panel on youth substance abuse. I really had no idea what to expect, but I went in thinking at least it would probably be interesting. As part of the event, we split up into small groups and spent some time discussing how substance abuse had affected the populations that we work with. And for the first time in a long time, I had nothing to contribute. I wasn't a medical case manager. I had never worked with youth who'd had those experiences. I wasn't even that familiar with my own organization yet. And in that moment, I was so insecure. But listening to everyone else take their turn at speaking, I was fascinated to hear their stories and experiences. I couldn't figure out why I thought everything was so cool until I realized it was because it was all a completely new perspective of what I had been learning for years. Hearing others speak about their recovery, I came to understand how substance abuse and the social structures that cause it are actually deeply connected to bodily autonomy. I ended up learning so much at that event, and I really appreciated that introduction to a completely new community. By pursuing some knowledge that I originally thought was totally irrelevant to my passions, I ended up expanding my understanding of a field that I already knew a lot about, or so I assumed. I experienced this again and again throughout the course of the semester, realizing that I didn't know as much as I thought I did. I went to well over a dozen events, and each one made me reevaluate my knowledge by adding some new nugget of information which tipped the scales of my worldview. Constantly questioning myself was so humbling and sometimes really hard to swallow, especially when it came to understanding my own identity and positionality. Probably the hardest, but definitely most important lesson of this semester is that I can never fully understand some of the experiences that others have simply because of who I am and how society perceives me. But I can't let that stop me from supporting each person in achieving their own reproductive freedom. And we can't let it stop us from working towards a world in which people aren't discriminated against, but can achieve their true full potential. It is hard. I don't always know the right thing to say, and I'm sure I mess up. But by admitting that I still have so much left to learn, I'm opening myself to a new level of compassion that wouldn't be possible otherwise. Opening yourself up to those experiences is a lesson in vulnerability, but we all have the potential to do it. You might be surprised by how much you can learn from those around you. Even things you don't think are relevant to you at all can vastly improve your skill set and teach you something you didn't know you needed. We all need this every once in a while, a gentle reminder that we're all human and all on our own journey. It happens by mistake sometimes when we trip in public or have to walk around with a coffee stain on our shirt. But by pursuing these humbling moments in a truly intentional and meaningful way, especially when it comes to understanding ourselves and our own communities, we turn our fear of the unknown into curiosity and power, and we will always have room to grow. Thank you.